you know?
It's very frustrating. She has 3 grandchildren here she's never met. Seth, Peace, and my niece Cora.
Went in Thursday, and again, it was another all-nighter for us. And she said she barely got 2 minutes of a conversation with the immigration agent. It's been 4 years since she's seen some of the kids.
Yeah, most of them, yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We are going to do our first ever rant video. You know, that's what they call them. Have you ever seen a rant video?
No.
It's when people are heated about something and then they just go off.
Oh boy. Never seen one and about to make one. Yeah.
Okay, listen, the last video, if you haven't watched it, you can go back and watch it and fast forward some to get to where we talked about it. But we left you off, and his mom was going in for her visa appointment. We did not get an answer that night. We were up all night, and she got rescheduled for 2 days later. And so we're giving you the update of what has happened. But let's just give them a backstory of why things are going the way they're going.
About every 3 or so years, my mom comes to visit here. When she comes to visit, she's usually, most of the time, here around 3 months. This last time she came in for 3 months. It seemed to go really fast, and it's getting closer to Christmas, and was like, wow, hey, why don't you extend your trip, at least through Christmas?
She has a lot more grandkids here now, because Solo's brother lives here, Sam and Abigail, they have 2 kids. We have a lot of children.
Yeah, the time between the 2 places, it just went fast.
Yeah.
So after, you know, I was actually the one responsible for changing her ticket and extending it. Well, I went into her passport to look at a form that's called I-94 form. It's an immigration form that you get if you are a visitor in the US. And so usually it's 6 months that you have to stay in the US, and you either have to, if you're gonna stay longer than 6 months, you need to let them know so they extend that, or you go to a point of entry like Canada or Mexico or something just to get it in and out of their country, and then it resets.
So if you don't know, to visit the United States, you have to have a visa.
Right.
So some countries, they can just, like Canadians, can they just get one at the border?
They don't need a visa.
Oh, they don't even
There's
need
some
one.
countries that have...
some European countries, Australians.
Some countries have visa exemptions. So that's country-to-country relationships.
Yeah.
And for different reasons. So anyway, she has a visa that was valid for 5 years.
And it was new.
And it was new. She was just new that year, so she had plenty of time. So all the times you used to get that stamp. But this particular time, there was no stamp. And so I'm like reiterating, asking her, did you have anything? Did it fall off of your passport? It was something that they had recently changed, and you track those days yourself online. If you need to make any changes, it needs to be all done online, no physical stamp upon entry. So that had been a new development, a new law. Well, we didn't know that she went over by a few days over the 6 months period.
Yeah, it was the beginning of January. We thought, well, let her stay through New Year's, and then...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just a few days over the 6 months. I didn't even catch it when I was changing her ticket. So I just knew there was nothing in the passport, and I thought, oh, maybe this visa was different. I don't know.
She went home. We had no idea anything was wrong. And then a year and a half later, she tried to come, and on her way, actually, she was in the Middle East on her one stop.
Yep.
It's always 2 flights usually to get here, or to the States. And they sent her back home.
They pulled her off the line where she was boarding.
Yeah, and said you don't have a valid visa. So we had no idea till then. So then because she didn't have a valid visa, we found out she had to wait, I think it was 2 years.
Something like that, 2
to
or 3
apply
years.
again. So it had already been quite a bit of time. As soon as she was eligible to apply again, she applied. And that was back in February or January, February.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so she had to wait all the way till July to get an appointment. That is what you saw in our last video, because we hadn't realized her visa was actually revoked, which I explained that in that last video. There was some question she had answered wrong, and so we were fixing that, helping her get that fixed.
That's what we thought the problem is, but we don't even know why. It was never specified.
Yeah.
She was just told to fill out the application again.
Or it could have been since February, it wasn't fresh. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
We weren't told.
There was no explanation. Yeah.
Just what form needed to be filled out again. So she went back in Thursday.
Went in Thursday, and again it was another all-nighter for us. got a call, which would have been about 2 hour time.
Yep.
And she said she barely got 2 minutes of a conversation with the immigration agent that she was scheduled to meet with. The conversation went really fast. She didn't get a chance to even explain herself and try to tell her story. You know, given the application tells the story to a certain degree, but that's the reason why they have the interview, so that you could elaborate. And within 2 minutes she was out and says, hey, would you excuse me, I gotta serve other people, your visa is no longer valid. Never really got an explanation.
Oh, she said you're denied. Yeah.
Yeah, you're denied. Yeah, never really got a explanation or anything like that. And the lady kind of rushed her out of the counter, and she just was trying to say, well, but you know, could you yep, she cut her off. Yes. So she felt really, really dejected and upset. She was very upset for a while, and obviously a baby needs attention. It was very hard not feeling like she could get out what she needed to get out, and to at least give her a chance to explain what happened, you know. So, and it's very frustrating because you cannot call, you cannot, you know, when you call, you don't really get to talk to somebody that would tell you anything valid. Once it's denied, it's a closed deal. You have to kind of reapply again if you want to give it a shot. Every time you apply again, it costs money to do it, and it takes a lot of time. She waited from February to get an appointment in July, you know, and she paid for that appointment. So if she reapplies, she has to pay a new fee,
wait a lot of
months, and the appointment can go the same exact way as the last one. Her record coming here has always been very clean. She's never violated anything, so she's never had anything negative in her record. But now she does. She has a revoked visa, and she also has a denial. So those are selected randomly as to what agent comes in. So next time she applies, when she asks the question, have you ever been denied visa in to enter the United States? The answer will be yes, you know, which she had never ever had to answer that question, yes.
Which is well known to not be a good answer.
No, it's a red flag. Now she has a couple red flags for nothing, you know.
It's very frustrating. She has 3 grandchildren here she's never met. Seth, Peace, and my niece Cora. She's never even met them. And
the other ones, they've grown quite a bit. It's been 4 years since she's seen some of the kids.
Yeah, most of them, yeah.
So we're knocking on every door here that we can. If you work for the State Department and you know someone high up in the State Department,
the ironic thing is that we could literally apply for her to live here, but she also has a whole life there. She has a lot of independence there. There's a lot of issues. Like, she would be living with us or her other son, and there's, you know, health insurance and all these things. She just wants to visit. And it would be easier to actually go through the paperwork for her to live here, but that's a
whole nother thing.
That's a whole other thing, and to make it so hard to just visit. And she always goes home, you know.
I mean, she has a track record. She comes, she goes, she comes, she goes, she comes. You know, it's like,
it's very frustrating. You feel like your life is in someone else's hands.
Yeah.
Who it feels unfair. And
the only reason I say unfair is because, especially when you don't get a chance to even explain yourself. You paid money. She had to drive 3 hours and stay with my sister overnight.
Ended up being like for a week because of
reschedule.
She was very flustered, I think, the second appointment.
I'm sure she was nervous. She probably didn't interview as well as she could have, because she probably was nervous because of the whole situation. And so who knows? So far I've been able to get a response, but it wasn't anything that we didn't already know. They just kind of cited the U.S. statute that they used in making their decision. And that, well, she could always apply. Like playing the lottery, basically.
It is a lot. Your life is in someone else's hands, and it depends on who's interviewing you, and you gotta wait a long time. And so you can imagine, for us it's frustrating, because for us to take our family of 13 people to East Africa is a lot more expensive than for one person to come to North America. Yeah,
not only money, which is a huge factor, but also the time, the logistics and stuff. It's a lot easier for her to come and stay here. than for us to go there.
And we get to see her for a lot longer period of time.
Yes.
Because of our work, we can't just go there for 3 months. Or
she has a lot more flexibility at her age to be able to do stay longer. So yeah, right now I'm reaching out to some of our state delegation to DC, see what their offices can do to help us, or at least
add a letter,
yeah, or something. So we'll see how that goes. I know by US law they cannot make the embassy do anything, but they could at least write a letter or something just to say that DC is not you know, to represent us on on our behalf. And so I'm gonna take that route as well, just see, knock on every door we can. I wish I could go to the interview with her, but that's not even permissible.
Yeah, if he was there, he would not be allowed in.
Yeah.
Not in that visa. There are other ones.
Yeah, so.
You can, but I think it's interesting because a lot of people don't realize that when you have a family across the world.
Nice.
Nessa and the one cat are going around and around. When you have family across the world, depending on what country, it is not just as easy as a plane ticket.
No.
We've had other family denied that's tried to visit us, and it's heartbreaking. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's just really, it's difficult. You know, Solo lost his dad. I think that changed things for us a lot.
Yeah, and you know how quickly that can.
Yeah, because it was very unexpected. We had been over there when Judah was 1. And since then we had Belle, Luka, Micah, and Tori had just been born. And none of the rest of them had even met him. Just because we didn't have the budget to travel at all, and it was hard. And in retrospect, we would have moved heaven and earth had we known our time was. And
it was also that the weird time career-wise too. You have either less money or less time. It was just kind of one of those. You just don't go for a week or 2 with kids.
No.
You know, you have to really plan out.
Yeah, that's right.
You know.
That changed our perspective, and we just have always wanted to spend quality time with her whenever we can, you know, as frequently as possible. And so that makes this situation really extra frustrating. Thank you guys for watching. Guys. Thank you for being here and invested in our story. We'll let you know if anything changes and when.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see her here soon. So.
Hopefully.
By the way, when this video comes out, he'll already be back. But Sam is there visiting them now.
Right,
so
and they were actually looking to maybe flying back with him.
Oh, yeah, that was the plan, yeah.
Possibly fly back with my brother, who's there right now.
Yeah, visiting, so anyway. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.